That sounds terrible. Tickets. I know.
Check.
Welcome again to the Utah Utes here at University of Colorado Buffaloes. Thanks to all the families and friends for coming. Please be aware that lacrosse balls are flying off the field at a high rate of speed, and be very careful, especially.
Mitch, whenever you're ready.
Welcome into Colorado Buffaloes Lacrosse on Buff Sports Live. I'm Jake Shapiro, joined by Zach Thompson, and today we've got the Buffaloes and the Utah Utes. Zach, the Utah Utes are ranked second in the country. They're undefeated. This is going to be quite the challenge for John Galvin's Buffaloes.
That is true, and Utah just came off of a really close victory Thursday night up in Fort Collins. Took overtime for them after a lightning delay, after a goal that they scored as time expired just to tie it. So that was the closest they've come to a defeat this year. They ended up winning. This could be a really close game, though. Number 2, Utah. Number 3, Colorado.
And on the other side, Zach, the Buffaloes on Thursday night suffered their first home loss of the year, dropping 14-12 to BYU. You were here for that one.
That is true, and BYU is one of the RMLC rivals. They have defeated Colorado in a couple of the RMLC championships. The regular season games have been really close the last couple of years. Thursday night's game was 14-12 here with BYU winning. It's only the second loss of the year for the Buffaloes after their first defeat coming at Chapman, who's now number 1. So should be a really good game.
The teams have shaken hands, so we're going to turn around and catch this one for you right here on Buff Sports Live. Thank you for joining us this afternoon where it's beautiful in Boulder, 52 degrees. Almost no clouds in the sky. They call it partly cloudy, but it definitely doesn't look like that, with some slight winds about 10 miles an hour, gusting to about 15 here, which isn't much for where we're located on Kittredge Field. The Colorado Buffaloes are in gray. The Utah Utes are in red. Broderick Vitale getting set for this faceoff, as he usually does for these 9-2 Colorado Buffaloes, coached by John Galvin here in Boulder, Colorado. Utah and Colorado get the set to go, and we're off on the draw control. And Utah will take it after the whistle comes. So into the attacking zone for the first time. Utah in those red jerseys with some black accents, a bit of white on the back of the uniforms with the American flag as well. Josh Stout carried the ball for the first time. He has the most points on Utah. That's number 1. He gets it on the left side wing, right back from one of his teammates. He'll throw it over to number 40, Aaron Felstad. Felstad scored the game winner for Utah on Thursday night. Over to the right side for the Utes, now behind the net. They'll set up there, and pop it right back around. Some quick passing from Utah. They've got black helmets on as well today. That's Q Mackey with it right now. He goes behind the net, right towards the X. We'll go back to the far side, pops out, and then here comes the shot, and it gets past. Oh, no, it does not it gets past Russell Riley, but hits off the back of the cage. No goal there, and Colorado holds strong on their first defensive possession. They'll get it over the midfield line right here in front of us in the form of number 8, Galen Sloss.
Yeah, and you started right there. That play started with Russell Riley missing the ball, but it hit off the side of the net. It was interesting to see whether he would start or whether it would be the freshman, Peter Wharton, who ended up playing the entire second half of the BYU game the other night after Riley was pulled at halftime. So they went back to Russell Riley, and now the Buffaloes are on offense.
Peter, the brother of Ben, who wears number 11 for Colorado, one of the better attackers for these Buffaloes lacrosse team. On the right side for Colorado is Kean Reno. Reno will toss it behind the cage. Then there comes number 11, Ben Wharton. Wharton pops out on the right side, hits the post, I believe, pops right back out. Follow-up by Reno goes wide. Colorado will take it on the X.
That was a great ground ball and then backhand shot by Reno right there. Unfortunately, it looks like he missed, but that was a good job of finding the ball, gathering it, and getting a second shot, and then the Buffaloes keep possession.
Right side for the Buffaloes. This is Escueda with a shot, and it's blocked by the goalie for Utah. That's Daniel Costa, who is a freshman. A lot of good freshmen and sophomores on this Utah team, and we'll tell you why in just a second after this Colorado possession. Escueda on the right side for Kean Reno. Reno comes down towards the goal, then spins, shot, and it goes wide once more on the far side. Yeah, a lot of good freshmen and sophomore on the Utah team.
Yeah, so this team 2 years ago announced that they're going to go NCAA. They will be the farthest western team for now once they go next year. So last year they've hired all their coaches, including Brian Holman and his 4 assistants, full-time, started recruiting for their NCAA trip, and so this should be their last season in the MCLA, and they are taking good advantage of these NCAA recruits. As you said, they're undefeated, 11-0 on the season.
And a lot of those best players are those recruits at freshman and sophomore. The one exception to that, I guess Josh Stout is a sophomore, but his older brother is number, I'm sorry, I've just lost it. Yes, number 37.
Jake Stout
Jake
is the younger
Stout, yes,
brother.
who is actually, Jake is the older one. He's 3 years older, right?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
you are correct.
Jake Stout's
Stout
3 years older, but he's
Yeah.
only a junior because he took a Mormon mission for a year.
You are correct.
So,
and he was the older brother, Jake, 37. He has 12 goals on the season, one of those being the game-tying goal as time expired Thursday night at Fort Collins. But his brother, Josh, number 1, has 38 goals. That leads the team.
yeah, crazy situation up there in Fort Collins. Hopefully we get no lightning in this one. That would be awful. Willows on the left side, gives it over to Johnny Roach. Willow gets it right back, sets up, now on the run towards the net, shoots, and it goes wide. Colorado will be closest on the out of bounds, and it'll be picked up by number 11, Ben Wharton. Wharton, he's a senior out of Steamboat Springs, Colorado. Throw it over up top, and then down on the left side for the Buffaloes. That's number 14, Ross McDonald. He'll toss it back to a teammate, and now over to the right side for 21, Brock Neubauer. Neubauer on the line. Goal line extended. Now behind the net. Comes out on the near side. Looking for a pass. Over to the middle of the Utah defense. Ground ball picked up by the Utes. Goalie will hoist it out towards the midfield line. Good check there from a Colorado player. But Nicholas Farnsworth moves on either way. Nealman for the Utah Utes. He'll take it back behind the midfield line and toss it over to a teammate, Jacob Stout. Stout will be looking for his brother, who's right here on the near side, and Stout will throw it over to Stout. That's Josh now with it. Josh will slow up, won't give it over to Jacob, and Josh will throw it up to the midfield line for August Colana. Slowing it down, Jake Stout, right side. Jake Stout gets it right back on the Colorado logo. 5 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Stout on the run, trying to shake his defender. Will spin to the near side. Colorado doing a great job on defense here. Goal line extended right side. Behind the net now and tossed to the near side. Shot coming. And it goes past the goaltender. August Colana with a slick shot to beat Russell Riley. And that's where you got to shoot if you are attacking Russell Riley. We've seen him struggle in multiple games with those high shots.
Yeah, you're right. And that was just good ball movement. As you said, going from the right side on the goal line extended around the back. Then right in front, he gets a wide open shot. That one looked pretty easy.
And a good possession from Utah to just slow it down and work Colorado's defense. You see the savvy from these Utes players. Roderick Vitale back on for the faceoff. That's what he does best for John Galvin.
And interesting seeing Colin Lee on the first 2 faceoffs for Utah. As their guy Michael Abizad, number 6, is their normal faceoff guy. He's winning 3 out of every 4 faceoffs this season. We have not yet seen him.
On the left side, John Roach on the run. He'll wait for some troops to come join him on the play, and Roach will take it back towards the gold midfield circle. On the right side for Colorado is Galen Sloss towards the net with a shot. Goes off something, bounces high, and Kareem's out of bounds right here on the near side. Utah closest to it and will get the ball.
That one there was kind of a strange play by number 8, Galen Sloss. It looked like he was the one who took the shot off the post and then either lost the ball or he didn't back it up to the goal or to the sideline there, and that's how Utah ended up with the ball. And a quick shot and a goal there for number 21 with the long stick. That's Rylan Lemons.
Lemons, the freshman defenseman out of Greeley, Colorado, making his trip back towards his home state. Was in Fort Collins on Thursday, as we mentioned. But Utah already, we've seen as they've taken a 2-0 lead, 6 minutes into the game. We've seen them have a interesting strategy getting over the midfield line. They've gone back and forth on the midfield line. It seems to be confusing Colorado a bit.
That's true, and both Colorado and BYU the other night, they were riding hard. There were a lot of failed clears in that game, and it looks like Colorado's trying to be just as aggressive, but Utah is doing their homework, and they figured it out, and they're able to just kind of move back and forth till they find an opening, and they have successfully cleared it every time. So we'll have to watch to see if Colorado changes at any point during this game.
That was Rylan Lemons. Let's see, I'm trying to get it because he probably hasn't scored many goals this year, right? That was his 2nd goal of the year. Utah with the ball on the attack. That's August Colana. He hands it off to a teammate. Shot comes from way out, and it ends up in the back of the net off of the stick of number 16 from the Utah Utes. And that one makes it 3-0 here with 5.5 minutes gone.
And Buffalo's calling timeout.
Yeah, and after those 3 quick goals, looks like John Galvin calls his first timeout of the game, try to figure some things out. Utah able to get 2 quick goals by passing the ball around, and then the third one on transition from the defenseman Lemons. They just need to figure this out and talk it over, make some changes, come out and see if they can get a quick one here.
And the Buffaloes in the past have been dubbed the Cardiac Kids, mainly because they like to go down early in lacrosse games and then fight their way back and win it at the end. Of course, that strategy didn't pay off for them on Thursday night against BYU, but it has in almost every other game, and it seems like they have not had command of games until midway through the third quarter, Zach.
That is true. 5 of their last 7 victories and last 8 games are still by 1 goal. Many of those coming in overtime. The only 2 that were not were the Liberty game and Cal Poly, their 2nd game of the spring break a couple weeks ago.
Well, you're hearing the wind cut the microphone a little bit. That is right. The wind is indeed a factor here at Kit Ridge Field in Boulder, Colorado. Like I said, it's a very pretty day, and we've had some very cold lacrosse games here early on this season, which is funny because this schedule was built so Colorado would spend the whole second half of the season at home to avoid some of this weather, but it seems like every time the lacrosse team is playing a game that the weather just is not in their favor, and that's not true of normally this time of year. It's been beautiful. It's been 70 and sunny the last few days, and of course the weather drops a bit for the lacrosse game. But either way, these two teams from each side of the Rockies will not be affected from it. They both make their home in the mountains high up in the altitude. Broderick Vitale with a strong move on the faceoff will finally get the ball for Colorado. On the left side is Cameron Babin towards the net with a quick shot and an easy save by Daniel Costa, and all of a sudden Utah right back on the attack. Colorado seemingly spending most of this game on defense, tossing it back to the midfield line. Now on the run is August Colana. He controls the ball a lot for these Utah Utes, throws it to the near side for Josh Stout. Behind the net now and rung around by Q Mackey. August Colana, and back out to Stout. He waits for a change at the midfield line, and now Utah with a fresh body on the field in the form of Liam Colvin Fernandez. Utah trying to find that shot lane, does, and it's a goal. Another one off the stick of 16 on Utah with a nice celebration afterwards. He makes it 4-0 with 7:37 left in the first quarter. And we do not know his name. He is not on the roster or on the website, so we'll have to do with number 16 for now. We'll find that information for you as soon as we can. Thought we might get away with it, Zach, because I thought he may only score a goal, and we could work around it. But apparently this player is very important, but not important enough to make it onto the roster card.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. We're looking around trying to find someone to go check on that name and eligibility, but we'll get back to you on that one.
As close to your body. Try to put your mic as close to your body when you're not talking as you can, so it protects from the wind, you know. Utah now with a 4-goal lead and right back on offense. Josh Stout throws it back to number 23, Reed Lanigan. Lanigan will wait for a teammate. That's number 40, Fetchelstad. Right side, Utah fakes a shot. Now waiting for that shot lane to open up. It seems like they found it, and it goes just high of the net off the stick of number 16 and over Russell Riley. That one had a mistletoe coming out of the back of it. Stout behind the net on the X, throws it over to the near side for number 40, Fetchelstad. 16 with it for Utah. Cradles it over to the left side. Looks behind the net. There, Stout will set up behind it. Stout pulls it up to the far side. Looking back door. Could not complete the pass. Good defensive play there by number 14 of Colorado, Ross McDonald, who is checked off the ball, loses it, and Utah gets it right back. Colorado just being suffocated by these Utah Utes here early on.
Yeah, and that one was actually just a really good play by Utah on the short ride there, trying to keep Buffaloes from clearing the ball. They just double team Ross McDonald, force him up against the sideline, and then just knock the ball out off of his stick and out of bounds, so Utah keeps the ball.
Number 16 is Cole Watson, is what I've been told, so we'll get that for you later for the rest of the game. Thank you for our YouTube commenter who sent that in. Behind the net, 6 minutes left in the first quarter. Watson with the ball, throws it to the right side, and now behind the net. Really nice behind the back toss by number 37 of Utah, and that was Jacob Stout, who just missed the net on a circus-like shot from right out in front of it. Cole Watson is a freshman attacker, 6 foot, out of Flower Mound, Texas. He has 2 goals in this one. Goal line extended left side. Stout pops out, shoots, and is saved by Russell Riley with his left shin. And a big check out in front. That one was deemed a foul against Utah for stepping into the circle of Russell Riley.
Yeah, and that one was actually just a really good save down low by Russell Riley. Following the ball, looked like it went off of his knee, and then he was able to keep it close. And then as his defender got checked, a Utah player stepped in the crease. That's turnover, and now the Buffaloes clear and turn it over right away on an errant pass. So both teams are clearing well so far and then making mistakes, except for this right here as Johnny Roach forces Stout out of bounds, and they maintain possession.
And then Roach going right back into his body for no apparent reason other than to just go right back into his body. You love that out of the small-bodied Johnny Roach. Far side for Colorado, number 36 with it. That's Ben Willows, and Willows working on the Utah defense. He spins, throws it to the left side. Now tossing it back around behind the net is Wharton. Wharton will slow up and then to the near side, tossed right back out to the top. Barker on the run, trying to gain a step to Roach, and he scores. Barker with a nice pass inside to Roach, and Colorado cuts Utah's lead to 3 with 4:36 left in the first quarter.
Yeah, and that was a great job by Johnny Roach. That's where he likes to live, is right there inside. He takes a pass in there with a quick, like, one-time shot almost right into the net. We haven't seen that the last couple games, so it'll be interesting to see if he's actually able to continue to do that or if Utah sniffs that out and tries to stop him.
Exactly. Roach likes to pop in from the wing and hide kind of in between the defense. He almost uses that small size to his advantage as teams seem to lose him in that area. It's almost counterintuitive. You normally want a big body in front of the net. He's the small body, and it works. And Utah whistled down. That'll be a timeout for the Utah Utes with 4:22 left in the first quarter, which lets me tell you about Buff Sports Live, the weekly television show covering all CU athletics from Division I to club, sometimes to even Division II club. On Buff Sports Live, that's Boulder Channel 63 as well, on Fridays at 4:15. You can check us out on Twitter at Buff Sports Live, and our website is buffsports.live. 25 years, celebrating our 25th anniversary here on the campus of CU Boulder, and we still have not seen the Colorado Buffaloes make the Sweet 16 in basketball.
Well, 25 years is impressive. Congrats to you and to all your guys for keeping it going, and I really appreciate just being invited, being a small part of it. And it's fun to have lacrosse here this year.
Yeah.
And hockey, some of the other.
And it's funny because the women's lacrosse team, although it's done by Pac-12 Network, is done by our entire crew. So it's put on by the same people, and the only difference is the play-by-play guy, which is Cyrus Allen, who is our old men's lacrosse announcer at times, and he will be on the call maybe even next Saturday for the game against CSU. We do not know yet. We'll have a surprise guest, hopefully, in the booth as well. Color commentary from possibly a women's lacrosse D1 player trying to make her television debut.
That is pretty awesome, and a shout out to them. They beat Stanford in overtime yesterday, so they are now leading the Pac-12. This is still the inaugural season of the Pac-12 Lacrosse Conference, and CU is in the lead. They host the Pac-12 championships here in Boulder in 2 weeks, so that'll be fun too.
Yeah, both those teams came in at 6-1 yesterday, and they're fighting for top 10 spots in the national rankings. And Colorado's, I believe, just their 5th season in Division I women's lacrosse and their first season in the Pac-12. That's going to be fun 2 weeks from now right here on Kittredge Field. Popped back out, Utah with it on offense. 4 minutes left in the first quarter. That's August Colana, and to the near side for Josh Stout. Stout towards the net, will go onto the goal line, onto the far side. Good pass and a shot. It goes high and strong of Russell Riley. Utah will pick it up behind the cage in the form of Cole Watson. Watson defended by Marlowe. Popped back out. Colana. One-handed cradle. Stutter stepping and sliding over to the far side of the field. Near side now for Utah as the game has slowed down a bit. Cameron Redmond We've seen Utah hold the ball before, not much in this game. They did it the other night. Watson with a shot. It goes in under Russell Riley's stick, and they make it 5-1. And just as I was mentioning, Utah's ability to hold on and wait for their shot, they did it like they did Thursday night at Fort Collins.
That's true. Another good shot by Cole Watson. His third goal already. Still the first quarter of this game. And 1 point here, the last couple faceoffs have been taken by Jacob Chang. He's another freshman faceoff specialist. So Utah, a lot of strong freshmen there in the faceoff circle. He's won the last couple, and the last one right before that timeout. We'll see how he can do here against Broderick Vitale.
Chang, the 5'7", 150-pound freshman out of Groveville, Illinois, fighting Vitale on this draw as Utah has gone up 4 and can take control of this game if they score another one here. But Vitale does a great job of fighting for the Colorado Buffaloes. They really need this possession. Number 21, Brock Neubauer, taking some hits, going to the wide side and coming right towards us.
Now this is just a great individual play by Brock Neubauer. None of his teammates were really available for a pass, so he just had to work it into the zone himself, and now Colorado has an offensive possession.
Buffs with some new troops on the field. Snodgrass throws it to the far side for number 21, Neubauer, who gets it right back. Up top to 30 of the Buffaloes, that's Willie Gettinger. John Galvin trying to change some things up, maybe spark a fire. McDonald behind the net now to teammate and throws it around, and 44, Jack Carr takes it. Buffalo's working the perimeter here. McDonald towards the net now on the goal line, throws it, and it's taken away from him. Ground ball picked up by Utah as they retreat behind their net, and that's number 12, Ben Adams, with a nice play picking it up. Still has it on his long stick right in front of us on the sideline. Throws it back to a teammate as he looks for help. That's Daniel Costa, the goaltender, and they'll throw it around now, try the far side, and they're going to get this clear as a Buffalo falls down, and Stout takes it into the zone. Stout chased by 2 Buffaloes. They throw it back behind the goal line, and now on the left side, a bad pass, but it's still taken by Q Mackey. He'll slow it down for Utah with 100 seconds remaining in the first quarter, and they'll throw it to the far side for number 40 of the Utah Utes. That's Aaron Fieldstad. Stout with some speed. He'll slow up as he reaches the defense of Ross McDonald. Looking for some motion on the far side as Stout now takes control with a nice stutter step. Now steps back, and he'll look for a teammate coming on the change.
Yeah, and as they just pass it around outside here, you can see Galvin's calling for a stall. He's looking at the refs, waiting for the shot clock to get initiated. The refs are now looking at each other. If Utah doesn't hurry this up and get it inside and take a shot, they're going to be put on the shot clock, which will be the first time that we've seen here in the last few games.
We were just asked what happened to Jensen Markov, the goaltender for Colorado. He suffered a season-ending injury and actually had surgery this week. We wish him all the best. He's Colorado's starting goaltender and has missed basically the entire season, went down early, and that was a big loss for the Colorado Buffaloes, the senior out of Arvada.
Yes, and he actually is here on the sideline in a wheelchair over there by the trainer, Jacqueline Adams.
Utah trying for a shot here with 17 seconds left. Stout with it. It's checked by the defender briefly. Stout still with it. Pops out on the far side near the goal line. Pass into the middle. Ground ball picked up by Colorado. They've got 7 seconds as Polk takes it for the Buffaloes. Polk across the midfield line. He's got 3. Probably not going to get a shot off, and he will pass it over to a teammate. And Colorado trails 5-1 going into the second quarter. We'll be back after this quick timeout on Buff Sports Live. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be right back. Just someone in the YouTube comments.
Interesting. They haven't been watching for the last, minute.
Well, maybe it's a Utah fan, that knows.
Before he got injured, he was supposed to be pretty nice to the How'd your Rockies do? They still
Even
going?
my Cubs. Rockies are on 16-8. That's about 16. change
Well,
the
yeah, I wonder why I changed it.
16 is a way different than 41.
Crowd's starting to come in a little bit.
That's good.
Avs are up 1-0.
Back on Buff Sports Live, I'm Jake Shapiro alongside Zach Thompson, where the Colorado Buffaloes trail the Utah Utes 5-1 here at the start of the second quarter. It's 52 degrees, beautiful sunny day here in Boulder, Colorado. Just a slight bit of chill that comes in with the wind as we watch this lacrosse game on Kittredge Field. The fans have started to fill into the stands as only a few seats are left, and they're right behind our dopey-looking faces. And pretty good crowd here for a club lacrosse game. I would say about 200 people are alongside watching this one right behind us, with the start of the second quarter just about ready to get underway. Vitale for Colorado. Buffs wearing silver. Utah in red. Takes the draw. Fought for and won around Jacob Chang, but Utah picks up the ground ball and they instantly start the attack.
Yeah, I was impressive by Utah right there. Vitale won the faceoff pretty easily to himself, and then he just gets swarmed. It looks like Jackson Marlowe just took a penalty. So Utah able to maintain possession here. They'll get a shot, and then as the Buffaloes pick up the ball, play will be stopped for the flag.
And that whistle comes, and we'll see how long the penalty will come for Marlowe.
It looks like it's just going to be a 30-second push on Jackson Marlowe. So Utah will go man up for the first time today. Already up 5-1.
Utah man up with 14 minutes remaining in the second quarter. They'll start with it on the X. Colorado will try to keep them there. It's hard to score from behind the net. You can generate offense from back there. Utah with their quick attack as they throw back and forth a couple quick passes up top, looking for that shot lane, maybe a person to pop into the middle. Left side, goal line extended. And then back down towards the X. Even strength now. Utah still with control. Colorado will force some more pressure, though, as Josh Stout has to back up a few steps from where he likes.
Yeah, that was a really good kill right there by the Buffaloes. They didn't even really give Utah any good shots at all.
Utah now behind the net. Stout still with it. He shoots, and it's blocked before it ever got towards the goaltender, and it pops in behind the net out of bounds, where Utah gets it right back. Utah left side. Stout, that's Jacob. Tosses it to his brother Josh. It's not Drake and Josh, it's Jake and Josh over here. And Jake with it once more. I like the Jake better personally. It's a better name. I'm biased.
Maybe a little.
Fieldstad on the right side. Thrown back down to the top for Stout. Jake over to the left side for John Rose. I'm sorry, that's number 8, August Colana. Right side, Stout again. Behind towards the X. Utah doing a lot of passing here. No shots in a long time yet. Sure the Buffs aren't happy about that. Josh Stout backing up. Finds Kalana.
And the ref just signaled the shot clock has started. They have 30 seconds now to get a shot on goal, which they attempt. Looks like it's blocked there by Sloss.
And the ground ball will end up out of bounds, Colorado ball.
Yeah, and the Buffaloes were strong there on defense. They really forced Utah to just pass around the outside, which Utah has been really good at. They don't force many turnovers themselves just by passing and catching, as the Buffaloes have here a couple times. But as a good, strong defensive possession for the Buffaloes here now on offense, with a lot of their normal attackmen back out there after their short break there near the end of the first quarter.
This is Barker. Throws it over to Roach. Pops out to the near side for Kean Reno. Finds Willows and then Reno once more. Far side. Barker with his shot blocked by the goaltender. Right there for Colorado is 22, Carter Escueda, and he takes the ball on the X, throws it over to the near side for Willows. Buffaloes reset up top in the form of Reno, who throws it over to Roach. Right side for Barker once more. Barker with a juke move, can't get around his defenseman. Throws it to the near side for 18, where Kean Reno will be right there. Reno looking for the shot, and he scores on the far side, beating the Utah goaltender, cutting it back to 3 with 10:51 left in the second. That one was a beauty of a shot.
Yeah, that was a great shot by Reno. Really good individual play. Then taking the shot far top corner, just past the goaltender, who holds the top of his stick in his right hand. So that was off stick side for him. It's just great shot, great goal. Another good possession. Having the normal guys, Wharton, Roach, and Escala out there. Escala, as you saw, again, behind the net. Roach never really did make it into the middle of the defense there. He stayed on the outside, so we'll keep an eye on that. But it was a good possession, make it 5-2, cut Utah's lead.
Utah with a goal makes it right back at a four-goal game at 6-2 with 10:38 left in the second quarter. Scored about as quickly as you possibly could after allowing Colorado to score.
Yeah, that was just a great face-off win for them right there. Just take it right in and shoot and score. And that makes it a 4-goal game once again. We do apologize, as we said earlier. It is getting windy here, so
we're just trying to keep the audio clean for you guys. And now you see why John Galvin told us to be careful with the lift today. Don't bring it too high because the wind has definitely picked up. What kind of impact can that have on a lacrosse game, Zach?
Well, as we saw the other night, on Thursday night, it was 40-mile-per-hour gusts. It just seemed like the players, more than anything, just didn't enjoy it. The ball will still fly through wind better than in some other sports. You think like football, a game can really be affected by wind. Lacrosse is not quite the same. Passing and catching can be a little more difficult. It's more, though, the wind just in your face, in your eyes, on your jersey that really makes the biggest difference.
Jack Smith with it for Colorado. Inside to 29, John Roach, who gets hit, and he shoots it over that hit and puts it right back in the net. And it's a 3-goal game once more. Roach with a powerful move from a real small guy, and it never stops being impressive.
Yeah, that was a great goal. That just brought both the Colorado fans alive and the Colorado bench alive, as half of them ran onto the field there. He got plowed over, but was able to just get his stick up in the air and just shoot it right into the bottom corner of the net and make it 6-3.
Colorado now maybe with some momentum, scoring 2 goals, allowing 1 in between, but seemingly having a pep in their step here, and John Roach, that goal will definitely ignite a team, and that's a new face-off guy in there for Colorado. Tevin Hamlet just took that draw. Utah on the near side, they're turning around, trying to get the troops ready. That's Fieldstad. Throws it up top. Utah with a couple slow steps in the form of August Kalana. Throw it to the right side, now behind on the X for Stout. Josh Stout, he's a dangerous player. Throw it up to the far side on the left wing for his brother Jake, and then to Kalana. Kalana with a few nice steps to the near side for Galvan Fernandez. He moves it over to the left wing. Now behind on the X is number 1, Stout. Stout can't find that shot lane. Good defense by Colorado. Comes to the far side. Utah can't get that shot off. Finally does in the form of Jake Stout. And he is smothered by the defense of number 1, Jackson Marlowe, and the shot goes wide.
Yeah, Jackson's playing strong on the inside right now. Again, Utah, they really like to move it around the outside a lot before taking a shot. But the inside with Jackson in there, he's really hitting everyone that goes in there.
Stout with it behind the net now for Utah. To the near side, Stout with a shot and a goal! He beats Russell Riley 5-hole once more, and once again, it's a 4-goal game for the Utah Utes.
Yeah, and that one was actually really interesting. If you notice, right behind the net, Liam Kavanaugh Fernandez was trying to balance along the outside of the circle. If he stepped in there, that would have been no goal, but he looked like one ref was keeping an eye on him, the other ref was keeping an eye on the play. He kept his foot out, and Utah was able to get it around and score and make it a legal goal.
And you see the power of this Utah team. Another face-off. Utah's done a really good job on these this afternoon, and that is a key in this sport.
And that was the second one in a row for Trayvon Hamlet. That's 2 losses in a row also. We'll keep an eye on Broderick Vitale, whether Galvin has just given him a break or something happened there. I would be surprised if he didn't come back here shortly into this game.
Maybe Colorado thinks about a goaltending change again. Not that Russell Riley has actually done a bad job in this game, but it may ignite their team to put in the younger Wharton.
That's true, and just as you say that, though, he makes a really good save, pulls it around the back of the cage to set up this clear. Again, as we're watching the rides and the clears, Utah, they're not pressing quite as hard as Colorado just goes offsides all by themselves here, forces a turnover. Utah comes rushing into the zone for a quick shot, and Riley makes another save.
Wow, that one must have hurt. You could hear the air come out of his body as he saved that one. Taking a couple slow steps behind the play. I do not blame him. He seems okay, though, as Colorado starts the attack off. Right side for the Buffaloes. They're throwing it around. Number 2 now with it, Davis Barker. Barker spins. Looking for a pass, can't do it. Finally throws it behind the X to Escueda. Back on the far side for the Buffaloes. Here's 14 McDonald. Throws it behind to Escueda. Escueda pops out, shoots, and it's saved by Daniel Costa, the transfer from St. John's.
That was a good save by Costa. He has been watching his film also. He knows that Escueda likes to come up around from behind the net, start at X, and either pass it around or just run it himself. Sometimes he'll even dive right in front of the net, as we saw in the game winner against UCSB a couple weeks ago. But that time he just turns around, takes a shot quick, and Costa saves it. Sets up another offensive possession here for the Utes.
And a really nice check there by 13 of Colorado. Cameron Babin unjars the ball just for a brief second. Utah gets it right back. Augustana with it, August Colana. Sorry, that's a tough name for me for whatever reason. And Colorado makes another save. Russell Riley hoists this towards us, and it's picked up by McDonald on the run. Holding it with his left hand, and now puts both hands on his stick. Will throw it over to the right side. Not a great pass. Loose ball still picked up by Colorado, and a timeout comes from Galvin to calm down the troops.
Yeah, but here, as of late, Russell Riley making 3 huge saves here in the last couple minutes. If any of those went in, it'd be starting to look like a different ball game, but he's able to keep it just 7-3 for now with 5 minutes to go in the second quarter.
You're exactly right, Zach. Colorado has a chance still in this ball game. That's because Russell Riley's doing a good job in net. And like I said, the only reason I suggested a goaltending change is to ignite the Buffaloes a bit, but it seems like they have been ignited by that last Roach goal to make it 7-3. Sorry, that made it 6-3. Utah scored right after. But either way, since that Roach goal, Colorado has had more of a pep in their step.
And for any Colorado sports fans, this is an exciting time of year. We're getting news the Colorado Avalanche are playing in their second playoff game right now. They're still up 1-0 in the first period against the Predators. So we'll keep an eye on that also. It's unfortunate that that game overlaps with this one time-wise for Colorado sports fans. We have probably 400 or 500 of them here watching this game and keeping track of the hockey game on their phone.
Or in my case, the baseball game, where the Colorado Rockies trail the Washington Nationals late into that contest. It was 6-2 last time I got a score update on that one. Or, if you're a Nuggets fan like me, it's not an exciting time of year. I'm not an Avs fan, Zach. I'm a Nuggets fan, and unfortunately, things did not go our way this week.
Yeah, well, they had their one playoff game, and it just didn't work out in overtime. Sometimes that happens.
Buffaloes on the attack. 5:30 left in the second quarter. 7-3 Utah leading the Buffaloes. Behind the net, number 11 Ben Wharton throws it to the far side and then throws it back up top to 46 Christian Snodgrass. Right side again for the Buffaloes. That's Jack Carr. Carr behind to Esqueda, left side, shot opportunity for Colorado and put in by Ben Wharton as he falls to the ground as Colorado makes a 3-goal game once again. These two teams pinballing from 3 to 4 goals. It's 7-4 with 5:09 left in the second quarter, and a good passing play by the Buffaloes to set up that weak side shot opportunity for the Buffs.
And once again, John Galvin drawing up a good play out of the timeout. He really mixed up the personnel positioning there. Esqueda started right in front of the cage with Ben Wharton behind it. Then they all rotate between Wharton, and I believe it was Johnny Roach, who was the other one, rotated into their more traditional positions, and it allows Ben Wharton to get a quick goal.
Vitale back on the field wins this draw. Buffs have a chance to make it a 2-goal game now with the ball in the attack zone right side. Buffs definitely have some momentum. Player falls, that's 36, Ben Willows. Buffs somehow keep it, and Davis Barker throws it over to the near side as he plays catch with Jack Smith. The pass back to Barker Davis, now to Willows with a shot. Hits off the defenseman out in front as he had his back turned to that ball. Didn't even know he was blocking that, but did either way. Utah crossed the midfield line rather easily as they work it down the left side of the zone. Josh Stout with the ball, throws it behind the net where Utah pops right back out. Here's number 16, Cole Watson, with a shot and a goal!
That looked like that was off of Farnsworth, a long stick, just great shot.
Watson with the pass over to Farnsworth right before that shot went in. Yep, that was Nicholas Farnsworth with the goal. The freshman out of Draper, Utah, makes it a 4-goal game once more. And like I said, pinballing back between 3 and 4 goals. Buffaloes just have not been able to make it a 2-goal game.
And Vitale's back in for the Buffaloes now. This is his second face-off in a row. On the season, he's still just under 500 on faceoffs. But coming into this game, he was 79 and 82 on faceoffs.
Look
Utah
out.
on the other side, they win a lot more faceoffs than they lose, so we kind of expected Utah to win more of the faceoffs today. Vitale has done a pretty good job for the most part, but again, every possession matters, and right now Utah's getting the most of them.
4 minutes left in the first half. Utah with it in the attack zone once more. They've had the possession for a vast majority of this ball game, have only had the shot clock turned on them one instance. Field stat. Left side for 14, Cavano Fernandez. Throws it behind the net, Utah. He's going to set up the offense from there. Watson pops out, passes once more. He'll have to give this up high, and Utah on the left wing now. Fernandez towards the net with a shot. Goes off a leg out in front, never got to Russell Riley. Ground ball picked up by Colorado and finally controlled by number 5, Blake Sandman.
Yeah, and that was another good save by Russell Riley. Utah really moves the ball around well, though. They are a good fundamental team. They're a young team, as we were saying earlier, mostly freshmen and sophomores, but they have the fundamentals down. They can pass and catch and move the ball around, run around, switch positions flawlessly, and that's a lot of the reason why they're undefeated this season.
Neubauer to Escueda, bad pass picked up by Utah as it just escaped Escueda's stick. Costa hoists it into the attack zone. Utah right on this ground ball, right out in front of the net. Watson with a free shot on the goal, and Russell Riley with the answer.
Another great save on a transition shot.
Marlowe on the left side,
man clear
for Escueda. Buffs trying to take advantage of this Utah defense, kind of out of position here. Neubauer with 2 minutes left in the half to Escueda. Shot goes wide, and Colorado still closest to it. 8-4. Sorry, I had to cut you off there. Big possession for Colorado, and a great save by Russell Riley.
Yeah, this is huge time in the game. You are good. You do your thing.
Left side, and another one escapes Escueda's stick just as he had the shot lane, and he's behind the play, kind of shaking himself a bit there. 2 in a row from Escueda pop out of his stick, and Utah's going to take a timeout here as the Buffaloes have taken the momentum with 105 seconds left in the first half. But how huge was that save by Russell Riley with Cole Watson? Nothing between him and the back of the net except for Russell Riley. He stands tall, makes the save, keeps it at a 4-goal game, has not reached that number of 5 yet.
Yeah, massive, massive save on transition. He was moving. He was able to just get down in front of it, block it up into the air, and they were able to clear it pretty quick and get a shot off. But just as we were talking about the fundamentals of Utah, the Buffs have 2 missed opportunities in a row just on an errant pass, and then it looked like a catch that Escueda just couldn't quite make on that last attempted shot. Those 2 could be huge. It's still a 4-goal game, less than 2 minutes to go till halftime.
Still hearing the wind cut the mic. It's calmed down just a bit since earlier on in this quarter. Some clouds moving in Boulder. Expecting some good weather the next few days in Boulder as Utah will return home. Colorado hosts their next game next Saturday, and the 10-day forecast says it's going to be 50 degrees and snowing next Saturday, because of course it is. It's going to be sunny and beautiful all week. Lowest temperature until Saturday is supposed to be 60 degrees on Wednesday with pure sun, and then of course Saturday it'll drop down to 53 and snow for Colorado's, I believe it's senior day here at Boulder next Saturday against the Colorado State Rams. Utah on offense, 90 seconds left in the half. Near side to Devin Keefe. Throws it over to Josh Stout, way out. Utah wants the last shot of the half here. That's pretty obvious. Ryan Langen Over to number 8, August Colana. Behind the net. Great play by Jackson Marlowe, who has been huge on defense. Gets the ball loose from Luke Graney. And now Colorado, with 1:04 left in this half, throws it over to Russell Riley. Way back in their defensive zone. They're going to try and get this clear and get an offensive opportunity. But Marlowe may be the player of the game thus far. Him and John Roach having the best games of Colorado as the Buffaloes just go offside and blow that opportunity.
Yeah, it's a good point, though, about Marlowe. Really, the only misplay he's had was the 30-second penalty he took for a push earlier, but even then, it was just
you like the physicality there.
Yes,
still.
It was a strong defensive play. Could have been called either way. And the Buffs didn't allow a goal on that man down, so it really didn't hurt them in the end.
25 seconds left in the half, now 20. Stout on the axe, will throw it over to the left side. Utah's going to get the last shot here. Watson takes it. It goes out of bounds wide. Utah will stay with them with 15 seconds left, and the shooting barrage may start here as Stout takes it on the axe. Left side, Utah towards the net. Number 23 with his head down, trying to shoot the ball. Gets loose from him. Colorado on the run across midfield. 3 seconds, and now 2. They're not going to get a shot off, and that will end the half. Buffalo's trailing 8-4 to the Utah Utes after one half of play here in Boulder, Colorado. We'll see if John Galvin can rally the troops and have a better second half than the first. We'll be back for the second half of action in about 15 minutes on Buff Sports Live. Stick with us, and thanks for tuning in.
Coming out today for a beautiful game of lacrosse here at Kittredge Field. The CU Buffs NCAA women's lacrosse team is playing in California, and they have a game tomorrow. And that is the way they will be back Friday, April 20th against Oregon. Hopefully we'll see you here at Kittredge Field. Good luck to the CU Buffs rugby team. They have a game April 26th against Long Beach State University, also here at Kittredge Field. As a reminder, you can listen to this game on Lacrosse Talk Radio and also watch it at BuffSports Live on YouTube. The women's hockey team is still here. Do you have cookies left, girls? Go down and get something to support the CU women's hockey team.
Back for the second half of action here in Boulder, Colorado, between the Utah Utes and the Colorado Buffaloes, where the Utes lead the Buffs 8-4 after 2 quarters of play. Utes controlling the pace and really making it difficult for the Buffs to get back into this game. Every time it seems like the Buffs may get back into this game, Utah scores a quick one. Zach?
Yeah, that's true, and it's kind of actually been a surprise for us. It's been number 16, formerly 41, Cole Watson for the Utes instead of the traditional Josh Stout with his 38 goals of the season. Watson, though, had 3 of the 8 in the first half, and it looks like play's about to start with Broderick Vitale again back in the face-off circle.
And Utah takes control once more right away. They're in red, Colorado's in silver and black. Utah down on the far side. Russell Riley still in net for the Colorado Buffaloes, unlike Thursday night where the Buffaloes made a change at the midway point. Russell's been a bit better. I was talking with some of the Colorado Buffaloes alumni lacrosse team who are here. Graduated just a few years ago. Some of my good buddies. Always good to see the family continued here, the herd, so to speak, of Buffaloes. Ground ball created by Josh Stout, ran and picked up by Josh Stout. Utah will regroup up top.
Yeah, and as you just said, there are a lot of former players that come back and watch these games, and as we said last time, there are a lot of former players that come back and coach for John Galvin.
And that one was a beauty of a shot by Cameron Redmond to put it past Russell Riley in the 5-hole, and Utah now has their largest lead of the game at 5. And that is something I literally was just talking about with one of the alumni players, that Colorado needs to get better on their rotations on defense, and their off-ball defense just hasn't been that good. A quick pass to Redmond, and he takes a quick shot off of that pass, puts it right past Russell Riley. Really nothing he could do about that. That was a wide-open shot, and that's where Colorado struggled today, Zach.
That's true, and Russell Riley is probably still in the game just because of how well he played down the stretch of that first half there, making 4 or 5 huge saves. It is now 9 behind him on the day. But like you said, they got to shore up the defense in front of him. He can't do it all himself.
Yes, I didn't reintroduce ourselves. I'm Jake Shapiro. He's Zach Thompson. Zach works with the lacrosse team. I am the representative on BuffSports Live, which is where you are catching this game as Colorado creates a turnover on the defensive side of the ball. Ground ball picked right back up by the Buffaloes. They'll take it back and around. Marlowe just heaves it over, and a really nice play by Blake Sandman to control that. He's got the long stick. He'll take a check right in front of us. He loses the ball out of bounds. Great play by the Utes. Utes will pick it right back up and go work on offense.
Yeah, that was just trying to do too much, I believe, by Sandman, trying to run it all the way up himself. Didn't see the rush coming from the side, and ball just knocked away. Quick turnover, failed clear, and it's still a Utah ball.
And you can see the frustration on the Buffaloes' faces right now. I believe this might be the largest they've been down this season. I don't remember them being down 5 goals this year, Zach.
Yeah, that's a good point. They'll need a response here. First on defense, and then they'll need to start scoring on the other side of the ball.
Utah undefeated, second-ranked team in the country on offense. Near side, trying to make it a 6-goal game. Shot, saved by Russell Riley with the left leg. Comes back out on the long rebound, picked up by August Kalana. Kalana will motion over to a teammate, then throws it to the near side for Colin Lehigh. Some new troops in there for Utah with the scoring margin so wide they can try some new players, give them some experience right now. Maybe a bit early in the game for that, Colorado is hoping, as the far side is picked up by Fernandez. Near side again, Kalana passes it over to number 1, Stout, then behind on the X, thrown to the right side, now back around. Near side, Stout picks it right back up, throws a pass over to Kalana, and then the new player for Utah, number 38 with it, and he'll throw it back around near side. Stout again. Kalana trying to get the shot. Had the lane briefly. Closed up really nicely by Colorado. Down low on the goal line, extended by the right side. Picked back out. Shot coming by Watson. Goes wide, but Stout is there, and he'll pick it up on the X with 11:40 left in the third quarter. Utah leading by 5. They've had the ball for about 2 minutes here.
Yeah, this is just really impressive ball movement by Utah. Moving it all around the play. That one looked like right off the post. Backed up by Utah. They keep it again.
It almost feels like Utah has a man up right now. That's the way they are passing and controlling this ball. August Kalana. Utah even making some changes on offense here. They've had so much time to work with it. Fieldstad throws it over to the far side and down around to the right side, right back out. Fieldstad with it again. Near side for Stout. He'll motion over a teammate down to the X. Fieldstad now spinning with it. Finds Stout once more. He backs up, cradles it a few times, and now will look for a pass. Stutter steps over to the right side. Stout throws it to Fieldstad once more. Stout again. Quick passing between these two. It's like there's no defense even for them two. They just keep going right back and forth. Reed Lanigan. Stout. Lanigan again. Trailing with the left side. Throws it over to the left wing. Or Kalana will take it. Throws it over to Stout.
Again, it looks like the shot clock is being turned on by the referees here. So Utah has engaged it twice today just because of their long ball movement and long possessions.
Ground ball created and picked up by Colorado. Nice defensive play there, maybe helped by that shot clock as Nick Cottrell picks it up. Jack Polk. Right side for Colorado on offense. Number 8 with it is Galen Sloss. I believe that was a shot, goes out of bounds, and Colorado still closest to it. That was an odd-looking play on the deflection, and Wharton now with it on the X. Wharton will spin away from the Utah defender, takes it on the right side for the goal line, extended to the left, to our left, to the right of the goaltender. Stage right, stage left, who knows. Right side, Davis Barker on the run, and he gets a shot to go in. Powerful move as he drives in with his shoulders, and he keeps it close at 4. And a nice goal by the senior out of Mountain Vista High School.
Yeah, that was just a great play by Barker. Attempted to dodge it. Looked like the Utah second defender had to come in, and he's just one-on-one able to put it right past the goaltender and into the net. And Cameron Babin is coming back on here on the near side. We were told that one of our farthest away viewers, his younger cousin Braden Babin in Louisiana. Shout out to you, Braden. Thanks for watching your cousin here today. He is playing pretty well so far. Had a good ground ball in the first half, and he's the one chasing down this face-off.
Couple B's in Babin's name, but also an A, and his play has definitely received an A today. Left side, Utah with it again, as they seemingly have almost all of this game. Throw it over to Josh Stout, who's been rather quiet considering he doubles up his teammates in points. He's got 52 on the year coming into today. The next highest for Utah is 25. Down to the near side, inside, Stout with a shot. Russell Riley makes the save with the kick on the left leg, and Stout pressures him back towards his own goal. Russell Riley in his own crease throws it to the far side where Colorado will create some space.
Yeah, Riley's really quick with his legs down low. Another great low save for him. He's had now 5 or 6 of them here in the game, mostly in the second and third quarter here. Now there's a ground ball on the far side, picked up by the Buffaloes.
Neubauer strong on the ball right now, getting some help from his teammate number 27, Nick Cottrell. And it's still on the ground, picked up finally by the Buffaloes for some time, and Wharton controls it, will step away from the Utah defense, and after a ground ball lasting maybe 30 seconds, Wharton controls it for Colorado. John Roach on the near side. Johnny will throw it up to the middle for Willie Gettinger. Far side for the Buffaloes. Nice move there by Jack Smith. Throw it over to a teammate. Gettinger trying to create some space. Throws it behind the net for Escueda. Escueda towards the net now. Nice shot as he's falling. weakly defended and weakly saved there by Utah, as it never really had the oomph it needed. Roach on defense in the attacking zone, forcing Utah into a bad pass. Ground ball now. It'll be picked up by Escueda. Escueda now towards the net on the drive. He winds up, shoots, and it's blocked by the defenseman, number 13, Steele Hayden. And Utah will get the ball. That was a heck of a defensive play there by Steele Hayden, blocking that shot, as it looked like Escueda was going to have an opportunity to wind up and just chuck one past the goaltender.
Yeah, it was a great block, and then it was a great job for him to track the ball, find out where it deflected, and then chase it down. He ended up being the first one over there by the sideline, ending up backing it up because it was the shot that was deflected. And Utah started this whole possession off of that play by him.
Stout, near side for Kalana. 6:50 left in the third quarter, 4-goal game in favor of the visiting Utah Utes. Stout, stutter stepping, will step back, throws it to his teammate Fernandez. Near side for Kalana. Behind the net now, number 17, Luke Graney with it. Back to Kalana. Fernandez. Right side for Watson. Fernandez again. Slows up, steps back, throws it over to his teammate, Kalana. Kalana now will step towards the net. He takes a check on the back, and that'll be a penalty against Jackson Marlowe.
Yeah, and just a slash just because it looked like he hit him right in the back, right on the number. That was somewhat unlucky, but also kind of unnecessary there by Jackson Marlowe. That will probably put him in the box for a full minute.
Fernandez with a shot towards the net goes wide and out of bounds. It'll stay with Utah. And you can tell when the fans start to get anxious because they start to call for a shot clock when it may not even be warranted. Utah was attacking there almost the whole time, and all the fans are yelling for a shot clock. You can tell that means they're getting anxious about how this one favors towards the Colorado Buffaloes, especially now as Utah will go on the man up for a minute on this Jackson Marlowe slash call.
Yeah, you're correct, and the fans are starting to get a little rowdy. We've heard them yell more toward the refs than they had in the whole first half, trying to get some calls for the Buffaloes, and that one did not go in their favor.
Utah on the man up. Watson with a shot goes wide, and that one hits a garbage can. Then the porta potty bounces back towards us. Will it be fielded by a player? Oh, and a girl makes a play in the gold hoodie. I'll do play-by-play outside the lines as well. 37 seconds on the man up, 5:30 left in the quarter. Stout will pick up this ground ball on the bad pass, not pressured by Colorado. They have to stick in their defense. Utah behind the net. Slowly throws it over and to the right side. Watson winds up and it goes wide to the near side, and Utah will pick it right back up. They've got 16 seconds left to work with, 5:09 left in the third quarter. A fifth goal in this advantage would be huge. Stout winds up. That one goes low. Saved by Russell Riley, as he's done so many times on those low shots between his legs. And Colorado will get their man back on the field in 2-1. Even strength Lacrosse with 4:50 left in the third quarter.
Yeah, and that was just good, strong defense for the Buffaloes down low and on the inside. All three of the shots on that man-up opportunity came from pretty far out. The first two missed. The third one looked like a pretty easy save for Russell Riley down low. He's now making those routinely as the Buffaloes need him to stay in this game.
Kian Reno over to Snodgrass, and the shot is saved by Daniel Costa. Point I want to make right now is that Colorado here in this third quarter, at least the first 10 minutes of it, have done a great job not only on ground balls but 50-50 balls. They've been all over the field, have kept this close, maybe closer than it should be when you draw up the talent on paper.
That's a really, really good point. Yeah, ground balls and 50-50 balls come in very important in these games when they're this close, when they're just physical. just need guys that can run through the ball and go pick it up and just clear it, or pick it up and start a possession for you.
Utah now slow on offense. You'll hear the fans in about 5 seconds yell for a shot clock. I have their cadence timed down. I don't know exactly when the refs call shot clocks, but I can feel the fans' cadence of when they want the shot clocks. Far side for Utah. Stout, the elder, Jake, with it, throws it over to a teammate. That's 23, Reed Langan. Jake Fernandez, back to the near side for Watson. Fernandez again, far side Lanigan. He'll spin around, loses the ball, picked up by Marlowe, and Marlowe's all over the field, and his 2 penalties have not cost the Buffaloes in this game, but his physicality has been rather helpful, and that's a great pass up to Kian Reno. Throws it to the far side, or rather the near side for Escueda, back up top, and now to the far side, a drive towards the net, stopped as Neuenbauer got just inside and was not able to get that shot off.
Yeah, that was a great play by Kian Reno just to grab that high pass from Marlowe, across the field, one-handed, in the air, start possession, but it's knocked out of the Buffaloes' possession. I think that was Wharton right there next to the crease.
Fjellstad slowly with it, throws it over to his teammate, number 32, Cameron Redmond. Redmond passes it right back to Fjellstad. On the run, Fjellstad, left hand, now back to the right, looks for a teammate, and he'll give the pass over to Kelowna. Kelowna on the run now, on the right side, to the X. Popping out, that's Watson, looking for the shot, can't do it. Redmond once more. Watson, bad pass there, intercepted by Colorado's defense, and still fought for on the ground, played back on the ground to the Utah Utes, and now a broken possession. Here comes Utah. Kelowna with an opportunity towards the net, and it's broken up beautifully by Nicky Cottrell. And then a turnover. But Cottrell picks it right back up. Russell Riley almost cost his team there as Cottrell had already started looking upfield. 21, Brock Neubauer with it. Gives it over to his teammate, Escueda. Colorado needs a goal here. You can feel it in the stands. Neubauer on the X. He'll step back to the near side on the goal line extended. Over to his teammate, McDonald. Donald stutter steps, right side shot, saved by Costa. You felt the momentum build. That would have been such a huge opportunity for Colorado to go back down 3 goals, cut it to 3 right before the end of the third quarter, but now Utah with a chance to make it back to 5 with 55 seconds left in the third quarter.
Yeah, and in big games like this, you really need your big guys to step up. In this quarter, we have not really heard Wharton, Roach, or Escueda, their 3 main attackmen, haven't really said their names much. They really have to get more involved as they're still 4 goals down, approaching the end of the third quarter. We need the seniors, the leaders, to step up and make some plays here.
Josh Stout, 25 seconds left in the third quarter. The leading point getter for the Utes. He'll spin around on the left side. Colorado showing their defense. Gives it over to Jake Stout, and then Josh takes it right back to the far side now. 9 seconds left in the third quarter on the X. Utah needs a shot quickly. Jake will hoist it, and it goes wide with 3 seconds left in the third quarter, and Utah leading 9-5. Whistle starts action. Behind the net. Quick play, and the shot comes after the whistle. 9-5, Utah leads after 3 quarters of play here in Boulder, Colorado. We'll have the fourth quarter for you in just a minute. Right back on Buff Sports Live, I'm Jake Shapiro, he's Zach Thompson.
When you set this up next time, I'd pull it back as far as you can to the white line. US Lacrosse says 6 yards off the field.
Yeah.
And you're not 6 yards. And if somebody runs into this on a check, they're going to the emergency room.
It was the coaching staff.
But you guys tell them, okay? You guys tell them it's not good enough, move it back.
Okay.
It's supposed to be 6 yards.
Okay, thank you.
Get him, coach. I officiate, okay? That's why I'm trying to make sure somebody there to go the emergency.
On your side, bro. On your side. I want to see your side, baby. Come on. Come on, man. Come on, see you. Woo! Come on, baby.
Come on, Buffs, let's go.
Come on, see you.
You can go talk to Galvin if you have an issue, okay? He's the one who set this up. So he's the one that cares about the health of his players. So that's an issue with Galvin, not me.
Just tell John, that's all.
4 points, baby. Ain't nothing. 4 points ain't nothing. Come on, baby. Come on. Come on now. Get him.
Start of the fourth quarter, Colorado down 9-5 here on their home field at Kittredge in Boulder, Colorado. Broderick Vitale getting set in the silver for the face-off. Zach Thompson joining me, Jake Shapiro on this broadcast. Zach, what do the Colorado Buffaloes do? It seems like they're going to need a flurry, and a flurry pretty quickly into this quarter. Probably need at least 2 goals before the 10-minute mark to make you feel like you're still in this game.
Yeah, that's true. They need to score as quickly as possible and get as many as possible, and winning this face-off here is a good start. Now they just need some good offensive possessions. They really just need to move the ball better, fundamentally pass and catch the ball better, get the ball inside. That was a good job right there by Willows getting a dodge and a double team. Next time, if he can just find the open man that has to come double team him.
Escueda behind the net, quick pass out in front of goal! Colorado with a nice passing play. Escueda over to Wharton, and the Buffaloes make it a 3-goal game once more at 6-9 with 14:30 left in the fourth quarter. Really quick goal, just as we mentioned, Zach. The Buffs needed that so badly, and they got it right from Ben Wharton, who may be their most clutch player.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And Carter Scala doing what he does. He had 14 assists coming into this game. That led the team. There's another really good assist right there, just passing the ball from one side of the crease to the other side of the crease. Goaltender really has no chance when he has to move that quickly across, and it's just a one-time quick shot, just like Wharton did there.
We'll see if Vitale can do it again. Won the last face-off. It was so huge. He wins it over to teammate number 40, Zane Larson, and already Colorado with a huge momentum boost to start this quarter, but that one goes out of bounds. Utah will take possession. We'll see how much Colorado pushes Utah up the field here on defense. They've been letting them get into the zone earlier on in the game. They were charging them at midfield. It seems like they're going to attack here. Roach forcing them to pass back to the goalie. That's Costa. And Costa will be pressured by Wharton. At the midfield line, Utah will settle up in Nealman, and he throws it over to Stout. He takes a stick from Marlowe, and Marlowe will drop back as Stout heads down the near side. Over the Pac-12 logo. That's on the field for the women's lacrosse team, and then passed over to Watson. Utah slows it down. Will try to eat some of this momentum and clock for Colorado. Stout, Kalana, Stout, Kalana. Really simple when they do that.
A little pass and catch game there between the two of them.
Fernandez, Kalana, Stout. Adding a teammate in there.
Game.
Jake Stout, the elder, throws it over to the far side for Kalana. Fernandez again with it. He spins off, heads backwards, and then throws it back behind to Stout. Fernandez, left side for number 8, Kalana. He takes some pressure from Jack Polk. Comes back out. Throws it over to the right side and then back to the middle. Shout from Stout, and it never got to the net. Blocked out in front. Loose ball picked up on the rebound by Utah, and it goes over to the left side. Shot now again. That one goes wide. Utah will get it out of bounds.
You know, those plays like that one, it's pretty easy for Utah to take a shot and maintain possession. They've forced Colorado, all of their defenders inside. So all of the closest players to every end line right now and sideline is a Utah player, and they can just shoot all day and maintain possession as long as they miss and don't get a save right into the clutches of Russell Riley.
Stout with a shot blocked out in front. Marlowe picks up the loose ball. He's on the run. Big stick of Jackson Marlowe on the left side. Stout retreating for the Utes, defending, and he throws it over to the middle. Kian Reno, the right side for Johnny Roach. He'll retreat as he takes a check, and a whistle comes. It's going to be an offsides against Colorado, I believe, Zach. Was that the call?
Yeah, it looks like that was the call. Turnover on the Buffaloes. Once again, they're kind of forcing their own turnovers here.
But you understand the confusion there is Jackson Marlowe joined the rush. I mean, he had the ball, so you understand why he joined the rush, but you also understand why there was some confusion from his teammates because you're not used to Jackson Marlowe being in the offensive zone.
Yes, that's true. When that happens, you got to have somebody come back across the midline, which they must not have done. It was very, very delayed. So I'm not sure if that itself was the problem or if someone stepped across the line while we weren't watching.
Up top, Fieldstad with a shot goes off the post. Colorado catches a break. Russell Riley reacted poorly to that shot, but his best friend comes in handy there. Far side for Utah, 32 with the ball. That's Cameron Redmond. Throws it over to Josh Stout, the 5'10", 165-pound native of Alpine, Utah. Throws it over to the middle. Shot and a goal. A beauty from Cameron Redmond with a tail of fire behind it. Makes it 10-6 with 11:12 left in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and once again, Josh Stout, number one. He has truly been number one for these Utah Utes. That time he gets a really good assist passing into a great spot for Redmond to score. But yeah, Utah again fundamentally just passing and catching the ball so well. They can move the ball at will right now around Colorado's defense.
And we mentioned how Utah is going Division I. Hopefully next year is, well, we hope too. I mean, it'd be great to see some more West Coast lacrosse in Division I lacrosse. Right now, I think University of Denver is the furthest west team, and Utah would be the furthest west if they are added. Right, Zach?
Yeah, that's true. Well, we got Denver and Air Force kind of on the line here along the foothills of the Rocky Mountains. Air Force down in Colorado Springs, Colorado, just down I-25 from DU. I technically don't know which one's farther west. They're probably pretty darn close. But they're the only, or Denver was the only team to ever win a lacrosse national championship that was from a state that does not border the Atlantic Ocean. Fun fact for you.
Not even west of the Mississippi. That's an amazing fact. And my point, I mentioned that because Cameron Redmond is a senior, so he is not going to be on this Division I lacrosse team, but he will probably feel a lot of pride in knowing he helped this take this program there. So, you know, hats off to Cameron Redmond scoring his second goal in this game, definitely showing that he is deserving of being on a team this good. August Kalana slowly with it. Stout throws it to the far side. Utah with a 10-6 lead with the ball with 10 minutes remaining in this contest. Josh Stout over to the near side for Watson. Kalana throws it over to the far side once more. Spinning with it now is Jake Stout. He'll throw it over to Kalana, then Watson. Kalana with a shot. Saved by Russell Riley up high, headed towards his face. Thankfully, he got his stick on that one. I don't know how it feels to take a lacrosse ball to the face with one of those goalie masks, but I do not want to find out. I'll tell you that much.
No, that can't feel good, but luckily, since it was coming up high on him, he was able to see it the whole way, see it right into his net, and net as in his stick, not into the net behind him. Now the Buffalo's starting on offense.
Davis Barker, he's got a goal in this game. He'll spin around, goes to the near side. He shoots wide side, and it goes wide, but Colorado will keep possession, and Ben Wharton will go grab that ball.
That is one thing the Buffaloes have not really tested Costa on in this game are bounce shots. He's either really good at them traditionally, like they noticed that on the film, or they just have decided to just wind up and bullet most of the shots at him. And once again, Galvin brings Ben Willows back on the field. He's the cannon out there for the Buffaloes.
And a loose ball picked up by Colorado. Reno was really struggling there. Near side, Davis Barker once more. He'll back down his defender. Now moves to the left side. A shot and a goal. Goes near side beneath the stick, right between the leg and the post of the Utah goalie, Daniel Costa. And he makes it a 3-goal game. Keeps Colorado in it with 8:42 in the fourth quarter, just as it felt like Colorado may be too far out of this game. They get the answer there from Davis Barker on his second goal of the afternoon.
Yeah, that was a good goal by Davis. shot it down low. It looked like Costa was going to get in the way of it, but it snuck right between his legs through the 5-hole for hockey fans out there and into the back of the net, and that was one the Buffaloes really needed. And this is another big face-off, as they all will be from here on out. And it looks like a face-off violation, and the Utah Utes start with the ball.
They call it the 5-hole in lacrosse as well, Zach? I'll call it the 5-hole. I mean, I call it the 5-hole in baseball when it goes between the fielder's legs, so why not?
Between the catcher's legs?
Yeah, that's what I don't.
Just a wild pitch.
Well, that's just a wild pitch or a pass ball. Yeah, see, I'm not a big fan of people that get so specific with their sports terms. We can recycle sports terms from other sports. You know, let's say a long pass in football. That's a home run pass. You know, home runs only happen in baseball.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my rant of the day. Near side Fernandez, he'll toss it around and find his teammate Cameron Redmond, who scored the last goal for Utah. He's deking about 20 yards out, and then he'll step back. Takes a couple checks, a couple sticks, and Stout will carry it now for Utah. He'll throw it over to Stout. Stout to Stout. This is Jake, the older one, junior. Jake rifles this one top shelf on Russell Riley, who is very unhappy at something. But either way, it makes it a 4-goal game once more at 11-7. And like we keep saying, Zach, since early on in this game, Colorado just has not been able to bring it back down to 2. And really, Utah has been in command.
Yeah, and that one, Russell Riley did look really upset at someone, but really it looked like he should be upset most at himself. It looked like he had a pretty good view of that shot. It just went right past his stick and in behind him, right next to his head, it looked like. That one's unfortunate for him and unfortunate for whoever he was yelling at. But it is fortunate, though, for the Utah Utes, who again go up 4 goals as Colorado is able to win this face-off. And now Broderick Vitale looking for a pass as he's getting triple-teamed.
Almost offsides for Colorado. Some communication there done to make sure they weren't. That was nicely executed. And now Brock Neubauer needs an answer for Colorado. He steps into the zone on the left side. And the silver with the black helmet, black numbers, black pants, and the black Colorado on the chest. Throws it over to the right side for Ross McDonald. Near side Neubauer again. Finds Wharton. Wharton can't control it. Gets it off the ground. Wharton steps back, throws it right back to Neubauer. Switching spots once more. Wharton down low trying to find a shot angle. Doesn't want to shoot it on his backhand. Wharton falls. Loose ball out in front, but a flag flies, and I believe that'll go against the Utes. That should be their first penalty of the day. That was a holding, Zach?
Looks like they are going to call a hold.
I think that's going against number 5, Seth Neal.
Yes, you are correct.
You know what you could say? You could say Seth Nealman's going to have to kneel on the sideline for 30 seconds. Kneeling, man.
You are really sharp today.
I can't find out why no one dates me. Colorado on the man up for 30 seconds. 6:46 left in the fourth quarter. Roach over to the middle. Colorado's going to rifle a quick shot. That's what they normally like to do on these man-ups. Snodgrass over to Escueda. Can't find that shot lane just yet. Kean Reno throws it back. Reno gets it once more. Left side, Roach rifles it towards the net. Ends up off of Costa. The rebound comes right back to Escueda. 9 seconds left on the man up for Colorado. Escueda creating some space there. Throws it over to his teammate, 44, Jack Carr. And that one ends up in the back of the net for Colorado as they make it a 3-goal game once more at 11-8 with 6:17 left in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it was a good man-up goal. There were only 2 seconds left on the man-up opportunity there when Wharton skipped that ball down off the ground and just passed Costa.
And that's his hat-trick goal. He's got 3 on the afternoon. Wharton's really kept Colorado in the game. John Roach had a good first half. Wharton's had a good second half. Jackson Marlowe has been Colorado's best player on the defensive end. Russell Riley's done a good job in net despite the 11 behind him. Another big face-off for Colorado. If they want any shot in this game, you'd think they need to keep controlling these draws, these 50-50 balls. They've done a great job in the second half of it. Broderick Vitale down low. Teammates come to support him, and it's won by number 25 of the Buffaloes, Ben Ekadal. Ekadal steps across the midfield line, throws a pass over to the left side for Escueda. Carlos Escueda throws it back to his teammate Jack Smith. Smith, near side, switching spots with one of his teammates, Wharton. They throw it over to the far side for Davis Barker, who's got 2 on the afternoon. Lots of yelling on the Colorado sidelines. Fans are really into this as well. 5:45 left in the fourth quarter. Colorado down 3 goals. Number 17, Smith, stepping towards the net, throws it to the near side. John Roach makes the move before he caught the ball, and that costs Colorado as Utah picks it up. And if he had just watched the ball go into his stick, he may have had a great opportunity at the shot, but he was thinking shot before he got the pass.
Yeah, once again, we've talked about it all game today. Colorado really does need to learn something from these Utes about just the simple fundamentals. Just pass and catch, watch the ball into your stick. They have too many unforced turnovers today, and that really makes a 3-goal difference.
5 minutes left in the game, 3-goal lead for Utah with the ball on offense. Jake Stout, near side Fernandez. Liam Fernandez. Throws it behind to Josh Stout. Utah clearly trying to eat some clock here. And August Kalana throws it over to Fernandez as the sun peeks out from behind a cloud. Stout on the X. Josh will control it. Throws it over to Kalana. And the shot clock's being yelled for by the fans. You understand why, but I don't know that the refs are doing a bad job here. Fieldstad with it for Utah. Stepping over to the left side, Kelowna working back towards the middle. A shot and a goal! Kelowna with a rifle past Russell Riley. He makes it a 4-goal game with 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
That was another great possession offensively for the Utes. They can just flawlessly move it around, and Kelowna gets another great shot. Looked like that one just bounced again right behind Riley. For Riley, there's not much you can do about that one possibly being screened. It's just sometimes there's a great shot, and it's no defense for a great shot.
You never want to say a game is out of reach, especially for these Colorado Buffaloes who have done such a good job battling back. But down 4 goals with just over 4 minutes left, it feels like this one may be out of reach for the Buffaloes, and that may have been the dagger. Loose ball on the ground. Utah controls it. Now the Buffaloes are really going to have to apply some pressure here. They need a turnover and need it in a bad way. And Jackson Marlowe answers the bell. Down the far side for the Buffaloes. On the run, number 8 with a shot. And Sloss's shot goes wide. And that ends the rush opportunity. Colorado still with the ball as Wharton was behind the net. 3:45 left in the fourth. Buffs need a goal on this possession.
That was a great play by Sloss really quick. He running in kind of by himself. He saw Ben Wharton behind the net. He took that shot knowing that either one of 2 things is going to happen. It was going to bounce and go into the top of the net, or it was going to bounce, go over the net and out of bounds, and Wharton would be the closest one there. So that's really just a possession shot. Great play by Sloss.
McDonald, far side of Roach, fakes a shot, now steps in on the right side. Behind the goal line, throws it over to Wharton. Near side for Neubauer. Finds a teammate up top who doesn't want to rifle it. Reno instead resets to the right side for McDonald, who fires behind the net on a pass over to Ben Wharton. This one goes out of bounds, and Utah takes it back with 3:04 left in the fourth quarter. Looks like Russell Riley's going to come out of his net and try and force Utah into a bad pass or a turnover of some kind. Utah's goaltender rifles at the length, intercepted by Jackson Marlowe as Costa wanted a goal, and then a Buffalo falls, and it will go against Colorado, that whistle. I believe that's Russell Riley down right now, Zach. Is that who's down?
It does look like it. We're waiting for him to get up, and Jacqueline, the trainer, is coming out onto the field. He is very slow to get up. they're already having goaltender issues this year. Jensen Makarov, as we said, missing the last many games after his injury at Georgia Tech. Just had surgery the other night on that injured leg. He is again here on the sideline. He was driven up to the sideline, and he's out there watching in a wheelchair as Russell Riley is able to get back into the net.
He took a big hit there, Russell Riley did, for 37, Jake Stout. And the whistle, like I said, went against Colorado, and Utah will control the ball. The Colorado fans behind us are kind of just yelling nonsense at the referees, hoping for anything that could go their way. And one of the officials in front of us is legitimately laughing, which I'm on his side. I think that Colorado, I think Utah is in the right here. Colorado gets the ball on offense here. Sorry, that whistle did go against Utah, but it was not a penalty.
Yeah, that was an interesting play. Originally, like right before the injury happened, it looked like they were signaling that it was going to stay Utah's ball, so I'm not entirely sure what the call was. The fans were calling for an unnecessary roughness penalty, but Buffs keep possession here, try to get some attack going. They're down 4 with 2 minutes to go. They need to score as quick as possible as Escada makes a really good one-handed catch there.
Wharton on the left side, creating a deke, trying to find that lane. Can't do so. Wharton steps back, will retreat into a reset, finds Neubauer and throws it to the right side for his teammate McDonald. McDonald slides down low, throws a pass over to his teammate Wharton. 1:53 left in the fourth quarter. Near side now, Barker Davis takes a shot, goes off of his teammate Brock Neubauer, who is down after taking a ball very harsh to one of his legs. Utah into the attack zone. They're going to eat some clock or score a goal, do something that's bad for Colorado. Stout tries to do so. Russell Riley makes a big stop with 1:32 left in regulation, and a timeout comes for Utah. You know, it's something I've always wondered, Zach, and this has nothing to really do with the game. I wonder how many lacrosse balls Colorado goes through in a single year.
Oh, it's a lot. We literally get cases of balls, like big boxes, very heavy boxes, I do say. Yeah, they'll go through in just practices. They'll go through tons of them, especially on this field. And the balls can go over the net on either side when they're shooting. They can go out into the road, which actually happens quite often. They can come on our near side into the parking lot, and you're just not going to pick up all the balls.
Yeah, there's the outlet we use for our Ethernet and power is about 200 to 300 yards behind us, I'd say, Zach. Wouldn't you say it's about 200 to 300 yards behind us, the building?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And every time I go back there to find to plug in the Ethernet, I find at least 2 lacrosse balls.
Yeah, possibly from warm-ups, possibly from practices this past week.
And what, they're 5 ounces apiece? Is that correct? They're what? Is that the correct? I mean, they are dense, but I don't think they weigh. They definitely weigh a little bit less than a baseball, which is 9 ounces.
Yeah, that's a trivia fact I don't know. I'd say they're probably pretty close to a baseball.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
They're definitely harder. I don't know. You might want to ask Nolan Arenado which one's harder after Louis Perdomo tried to make him find out this past week. You were there Wednesday, so was I. That was a fun game between the Colorado Rockies and San Diego Padres. Saw more fighting in that baseball game than you saw in this lacrosse game, which, if you're going to put odds on it, you'd see probably more fighting in lacrosse. But, hey, sometimes that happens in sports.
That's true.
Back on off.
Colorado just took a flag there, possibly Cameron Babin, as
Stout puts it in the back of the pulled goalie's empty net, and he makes it a 5-goal game at 13-8 with 1:17 left in the fourth quarter. Stout ices it, and Colorado's going to drop to 9-3 on the year, and Utah will remain undefeated at 12-0 as the second-ranked team in the country. I want to know who the first-ranked team in the country is. These Utah Utes are good.
Yeah, and actually, that's a really good point. Chapman right now is number 1. They're the other undefeated team. But this game really means a lot for the RMLC standings, as those playoffs happen in 2 weeks. Both of these teams will just have one RMLC game remaining. Colorado playing Colorado State right here at Kittredge Field next Saturday, and then Utah will go home and host BYU in their final game. If they remain undefeated in the RMLC, they will be the #1 team in the RMLC playoffs in 2 weeks, which they are also hosting in Salt Lake City.
Seems like quite the advantage to have the #1 seed in your hometown. Utah with the ball. They've got a man up for a minute of the last minute 13 of this game, and they score promptly, making it a 6-goal game. And I can tell you with pretty good guesstimation that 6 goals is by far the most Colorado's been down this year at 14-8, and they've only lost their 2 games by 3 goals combined, 2 in one and 1 in the other.
That's true. They've had some very, very close games this year. This one not quite as close as they were hoping to keep it. Sometimes that's what happens when the #2 team comes to town. Utah may move up to #1. We'll see. So, again, talking about the future, Utah will play the rest of their games in Salt Lake City as they finish their season against BYU. Then the RMLCs are hosted by them in Salt Lake, and then the MCLA tournament for the first time this year will be hosted by Utah. So it's a good year to be a Utah Utes fan. Undefeated Utes, have a bunch of them here in attendance.
And a good way for them to go out of Club Lacrosse to have that, host both tournaments and to go out like that. And a good omen for them as they head towards D1 of where their program could be headed. Colorado with control, 20 seconds left on the clock. Sloss doesn't want the shot, throws it over to Escueda. Ball escapes his stick once more. Escueda with a shot, goes off the goaltender. Nice save there with 5 seconds left, and that's going to pretty much wrap this one up. Colorado versus Colorado State next Saturday. We'll have that one for you right here on Buff Sports Live as John Roach will cut into the gap, make it 14-9 with his, I believe that's his 3rd goal of the game. Yes, that's his hat-trick goal. 14-9 will probably be the final here in Boulder, Colorado. We'll see you next Saturday for Colorado versus Colorado State. It'll be senior day, senior afternoon in Boulder. It'll be fun to watch these seniors get to play one last time. We'll have a pretty good broadcast for you, some surprises hopefully for you. We're lining that up in the RMLC's finale in the regular season for the Colorado Buffaloes as this one goes final. 14-9, Utah wins here in Boulder, out on Kittredge Field. Zach, any final thoughts on this one from you?
This is not entirely unexpected. Utah is a very, very good team. It was interesting coming into this game. Colorado had the tougher schedule, so a lot of people, the Utah doubters, why they're ranked #2 was because of the strength of their schedule. Chapman with the stronger schedule also being undefeated. So Colorado unable to hang on here in this game. They'll take on their cross-state rival CSU next week.
He's Zach Thompson. I'm Jake Shapiro. We'll see you next time for Colorado Buffaloes Lacrosse on Buff Sports Live. Thanks for tuning in and have a wonderful day.